Stephen Allwood. I am a Morehouse graduate, class of 1996. I have a PhD in clinical psychology, so I'm a licensed clinical psychologist, and I've been at the Morehouse Counseling Center since 2017. First as associate director, and then I was promoted to director in 2019. So we do have a counseling center on campus that serves all enrolled students. The primary function are the counseling services, so that includes everyone gets an intake evaluation when you come in. We talk about whatever issues you're facing. That helps us make a diagnosis of what's going on and come up with a plan. Um, we have individual therapy, but that tends to be brief therapy and very more kind of solution focused. We also have group therapy, um, and we have referrals. So if someone needs a higher level of care than we can offer on campus, we have other resources in the community, whether it be the Morehouse School of Medicine or private therapists in the community that we can refer out to. Um, we also look at how other resources on campus might be helpful. So, for example, the Douglas Student Center has tutoring services and a writing lab and things like that. So, oftentimes we find students can benefit from other offices on campus. We help direct them that way. And also, our office oversees the campus accessibility services. So, any student who has a disability that is protected under the Americans with Disabilities Act, whether that's a physical disability or an invisible one, as we call them, a mental health issue, we can help students as well to get registered to get certain accommodations in their classes. I think men in general, not just Black men, but all men, are raised and socialized to look at emotions as being a female thing, a girly thing. Um, the ideals of manhood that we're raised with are to suck it up, be a man, persevere, um, be self reliant. And so, oftentimes, for men, coming to therapy feels like a weakness, or it feels like you're admitting defeat, that you need help. I tell those guys, listen, I'm not going to go out into the world with you and live your life for you. Everything we discuss in therapy, you're still going to have to go out and do on your own. So that kind of reinforces that notion of manhood, of kind of facing your own problems. And I tell them I'm going to just help them do that. Um, for Black men in particular, of course, we have a particular history of racial trauma. The Black community in general has historically been victimized and pathologized by the mental health profession. And so there's a lot of historical mistrust there. Um, and so, and Black men especially oftentimes feel pressure to just appear tough, appear stoic, not to let things get to you. So all of those things kind of come into play when you're trying to get men to open up and to be open to things like therapy. Help people think about their mental health kind of like the gas you put in your car. Oftentimes people will say they don't really have time to meditate or to go to therapy or to, practice self-care, do the things that help them maintain positive mental health because they're too busy. And what I say to that is that's like saying you're too busy driving to stop and get some gas, right? Eventually, you're going to run out of gas. Things are going to kind of fall apart. So, maintaining a positive mental health is what keeps us productive, keeps us having effective relationships, and doing the things in life that are important to us. So, and obviously, as a student, it helps you to do better in your classes, to be more focused, stay on top of your work, in order to finish your degree in a timely manner. Yes, so that's a new initiative that we've started in the past semester. Dean Brock Myers has headed that up. And what we're looking to do is really broaden the conversation across campus about student mental health and bring more people to the table than just counseling. So we're looking at doing more outreach, more workshops and seminars, so that we can serve a larger number of students, not just those who walk in the door, but we can go out of the counseling center into the larger campus and look at how do we create an entire culture of mental health across the campus, across the curriculum. So that's what the Village Mental Health Initiative is doing. So in the upcoming fall, students will see a lot more workshops and seminars on things like stress management, um, just that will be open to the entire campus. That won't just be restricted to students who are our clients of the center. And another seminar I'm going to be working on is going to be probably an 8 week course in Black men's mental health, but it's going to be inspired by the most recent album by Kendrick Lamar. So each week will be a song from that album, or perhaps previous albums that explore themes of Black male mental health and trauma and healing and things like that. So I'm excited about that initiative. I think it's going to be very fruitful in the coming academic year. We look at a couple things as sort of tells that mental health is being compromised. Oftentimes, sleep is one of the first things to be affected. So if you find yourself having trouble sleeping, especially laying awake, tossing and turning, a lot of worries churning through your mind, that's a sign that something might be going wrong. Um, of course, your day to day mood. Everyone has up days and down days, but if you find that you're feeling really down in the dumps more days than not, uh, if you find you're having trouble getting out of bed in the morning or getting moving or getting motivated, those are all signs that your mental health could be compromised. Um, how are you interacting with other people? Are you irritable? Are you easily agitated? Are your friendships being stressed? Things like that. Those are all really important. And then we even get into basic functioning like are you eating regularly? Are you showering every day? When things like depression, anxiety get really bad, even some of those basic functions start to be neglected. Um, so those are all signs to look out for. If you're functioning fairly well, going to class, doing your work, maintaining friendships, that's a better sign that you're doing basically okay. You still may have some issues you may need to discuss with us. We really look at how well someone is functioning to determine sort of the extent of their mental health. So my research background has been in constructions of Black masculinity and Black racial identity. So looking at the ways in which Black men identity development forms, what are the forces that impact it, how does it play out and interact with the world. Um, I've also have been very interested in looking at the intersections of psychology, psychotherapy, and spirituality. So looking at things like prayer, meditation, hatha yoga, how those things can play a role in mental health and healing as well. So, obviously Morehouse College is a majority Black male institution. So my research around Black male identity is very relevant to the work that I do every day. Um, some of the healing practices that I have been looking at studying, we're looking to get more of that on campus. So I know already we have had yoga classes on campus in semesters past. I've teamed up with the philosophy department, Dr. Kipton Jensen, and done meditation classes on campus. So I will be looking to incorporate more of that into the work that we do in the coming school year.